Welcome to Comfort Habit number 2. This is hands down one of the saddest days of my lives. So 5 years ago, my father passed away in my car with a car accident on his way home, and I want to honor him. So this is my car in which he died in, and I do this every year. Yeah, I've done this every year since he passed because it's the only way I can actually cope with it. Um, I miss my father. I miss him every day. You know, there's not a lot I can really do or say to change it. It's just that a lot of us take our parents for granted, you know, and a lot of us just don't know how to communicate. Like with me and my mom, I don't communicate well with her on any level whatsoever. But I never had that problem with my dad. I could talk to him about anything, and there was no judgment. There was no I don't care what you want, son. There was no your life is not as important as the rest of your siblings. And and that's a thing, because a lot of us don't have that kind of relationship with our parents at all, you know. And for those who do have the kind of relationship I had with my father, count your blessings, you know, because most of us don't take the time to do that. Most of us don't give our blessings so much as a second look, you know. And I'm here to tell you, you know, um, you gotta enjoy them while you got them, because when you don't have them, you won't have them. And that's something that you need to take heed and remember that as long as you have them, you should be able to cherish and enjoy them and learn from them and maybe teach them a few things or two on the way. As I said, my father and I, we rarely bumped heads. Now, some things we bumped heads about because, even a young puppy can teach an old dog a new trick. You know, my father and I, we really had really deep discussions about abortions, rape victims, things like that. And the reason why we had these discussions is because I don't know what God has planned for me in the future. But I do know that if I had a daughter and if something happened to her, I wouldn't force her to carry a rape baby. Which is where my father and I started bumping heads. We really started bumping heads because he's pro-life. He was pro-life while he was living, and I'm always gonna be a dominantly pro-choice. I've always been about the woman's right to choose because I have been blessed to be born a man, and 9 times out of 10, we men we rarely fall victim of rape. In the sexual sense of woman. Women don't rape men. They might these days, but for the most part, women are generally more the victim of rape, and they're the only ones who can get raped and get pregnant. If we get raped, it just destroys us mentally, but women get it worse. So you gotta weigh the pros and cons on stuff like that. And my father was a really good debater. You know, he was a really really good debater. And I'm a strong believer in fairness. And so was he. But those were some of the things that we butted heads on. We butted heads on gay stuff. I'm not gay. He's not gay. But we had different views on gay issues. We had really different views on gay issues. I'm not saying my father was a bad man. I'm just saying we had different views on gay issues. Because I'm a strong believer in if you're happy, you know, then people who love you should be happy for you and should be doing everything they can to help raise you up instead of bring you down. Which is why so many people who are gay wind up killing themselves because they generally come from families who are all about what people think and all that other shit. Well, my dad wasn't that way, and I'm not that way. I got nothing but respect for gay people. Or, if I may be more politically correct, the Alphabet Squad. Please don't take that wrongly for anybody who's watching that are of that lifestyle. The only reason I call you Alphabet Squad is because every time I turn around, they they put a new letter on the LBGTQ stuff. Now my father and I, we butted heads on a lot of things, you know. But one thing I can say for sure, no matter what we butted heads on, I gained a fuck ton of knowledge from butting heads with him. You know, um, anything that I needed to learn, he didn't have a problem teaching me. Anything that he needed to learn, he didn't have a problem hearing it as much as accepting it, as much as learning it, until I walked him through some scenarios. And I said, so what if it was me? You know, parents who truly love their children want nothing but the best for their children. And this is how I opened up his eyes, you know. Because my dad loves all his kids, you know. And I had to open up his eyes to some small, simple facts that the world that he grew up in versus the world I grew up in versus the way society is today. You know, we are living in hell right now. And I'm so glad that my dad has passed that he doesn't have to see the reality that is our lives. You know, and the thing with that, you know, my dad was a really down to earth guy. On this day 5 years ago, well, the night before he died, there was a Snoop Dogg concert. Shout out Snoop. It shocked me to the core that my father knew who the hell Snoop Dogg was. And you know, I'm like, damn. My dad told me stuff about Snoop that I didn't know. And it shocked me because I was like, Dad, you don't even listen to Snoop Dogg. You listen to country music. He's like, yeah, son, but that doesn't mean that I'm not very much aware of what's going on in the world. I know who Snoop Dogg is. I know that he's just really, really tall. And he's as skinny as you. And I'm like, say what? And my dad was like, yeah, son, I know who the hell Snoop Dogg is. I don't have to listen to his music to respect him. I don't have to listen to his music to know who he is. I know who the hell Snoop Dogg is. And that conversation radiates in me every day before my dad passed. Now, my dad passed the day today, you know, but before he passed, you know, it was my sister's birthday that we were talking about Snoop Dogg, you know. And as funny as it sounds, you know, I could still hear whatever Snoop Dogg song he was listening to because of where he lived. He was close enough to the concert that he didn't have to go pay for a ticket. No. Which was part of the conversation. I said, Dad, you listen to Snoop Dogg? He said, man, they're having a concert right now. All I gotta do is open up my porch and sit outside and I can listen to Snoop Dogg all for free and I can have better food because I can go in the house, keep my door open, cook the shit out of a meal my dad used to cook. And I will be able to freaking get whatever meal I want. I can walk down to the stove and still hear Snoop Dogg. And top that off, I can come back with everything I need to cook in less than 10 minutes. And I can pull my grill out and cook at the party while everybody else done paid for tickets. I can have a party right here and I ain't got to do nothing. Just me, people here, and Snoop. But my dad wasn't a partier, so don't go too deep into that. But he was a listener of music, you know, and he really apparently liked Snoop Dogg, which really threw me for a loop because, again, for the life of me, I had no idea he even knew who the hell Snoop Dogg was. But, you know, I have to say, you know, it was kind of like one of the funniest things ever in my life because when I'm riding with my dad and we listening to Garth Brooks or Miley Cyrus's dad and some other people that I don't know because I'm not a country music fan. So anybody I've offended with that, I'm sorry. I'm not a country music fan, and to each their own. My life is miserable enough. I don't need any more misery in my life, which is why I never really like country music. Again, no offense to y'all country music lovers, but um, I'm listening and I'm thinking to myself, damn, Dad, what have I missed out on in your life to not know that you know who the hell Snoop Dogg is? So that being said, I want you guys to all know, no, my dad was not only a pioneer, but he was a great dude, man. And above all else, he did the one thing that most parents don't do this day or any day. He listens. So for all of y'all out there, you know, who are unfortunate and don't have parents who listen, I want to tell you how blessed I am to have had a dad that listened and that gave a damn, and that no matter what I did, he supported me come hell or high water. Not many of us can say that. No, not really. Not many of us, if any of us, can actually say that and know that this is 1,000% the truth. My dad, he rarely held back. He rarely bit his tongue, and he was never ever short with you. You may not like what he had to say, but he never spit out a lie to you. That being said, this is Comfy Havoc number 2. I'm James Williams Jr. Be seeing you. I love you, Father. And to my surrogate father, thank you for also being there. His name was James Richard Shiflett. My biological father's name was James Edward Williams Sr. This name dies with me. Thanks for watching.